The psychic who predicted 9/11 just issued a terrifying warning for 2025. Late one evening, buried in the pages of an old journal, a chilling new prophecy came to light. It came from the very psychic who foresaw the September 11th attacks, long before the world even imagined such a tragedy. Now, her vision for 2025 has ignited quiet panic among intelligence circles and spiritual communities alike. What could be so disturbing that some governments have chosen to keep it out of public view? And why are whispers of global shifts growing louder in both political and natural realms? Throughout the ages, rare individuals have touched something beyond the veil of kimono for attention, but as vessels of deeper truth. We know of Nostradamus. We've heard the name Baba Vanga. But there is another voice, long silenced, now echoing once again. On the journey of wisdom, we don't chase fear, we seek understanding. In today's episode, we explore not just what this psychic revealed, but how her message might be connected to the path humanity is walking right now. This isn't just prophecy, it's a warning, and perhaps a wake-up call. Number 1. The mysterious prophet and her prophecy. Deep within the remote, snow-covered mountains of Bulgaria, far from the noise and distractions of modern life, a remarkable discovery came to light in 2023. In an old monastery, untouched by time, researchers unearthed a collection of prophecies so extraordinary that even hardened skeptics found themselves questioning reality. These ancient texts were written by a mysterious woman blind from childhood, yet known to many as one of the world's most accurate seers. Though she passed away in 1982, her words continue to echo with chilling relevance. What makes these writings particularly unsettling is not just their specificity, but their eerie consistency with world events long after her death. Among her most haunting prophecies was one made in 1973. In it, she wrote, "When the giant twins fall in the new world, it will mark the beginning. 2 decades and 2 years later, the great waters will rise and the sky will ignite." This message remained cryptic for years until September 11th, 2001, when the Twin Towers fell in New York City. Precisely 22 years later, in 2023, the world saw record-breaking floods and atmospheric disturbances so strange that even climate scientists struggled to explain them. Her words were no longer seen as vague symbolism, they had taken on a chilling accuracy. But the most terrifying part of her manuscript is what she foresaw for 2025. According to the documents, this year marks a turning point unlike any we've seen before. While copying this section of her vision, the seer was reportedly overcome by a physical trembling so severe that the ink blurred across the page, perhaps a reflection of the intensity of what she witnessed. She spoke of a powerful awakening, one that begins with the unveiling of a hidden secret buried beneath the ancient ice of Antarctica. This isn't the discovery of a fossil or a forgotten civilization. It is something far more impactful, something capable of reshaping how we understand our past, our future, and even our place in the universe. Yet, with this revelation comes a wave of global disruption. Her writing warns that as we uncover this powerful truth, the Earth itself will respond, shifting violently in ways that will test humanity's resilience and unity. Massive climate shifts, unexplained solar flares, and disruptions in our technological systems are only the beginning. Governments, religious institutions, and scientific communities will be forced to confront questions they've long avoided. As chaos unfolds, a deeper message lies beneath the fear, a call for collective awakening and moral realignment. It's not just a prediction of disaster, but a warning wrapped in spiritual urgency. The prophet didn't speak of these events to incite panic. Her message was a mirror, urging us to reflect on the path we've taken as a civilization and the choices we must now make. Through her blurred, shaking words, we're reminded that crisis often precedes clarity, and from great disturbance can arise profound transformation. If we listen closely, her vision for 2025 is not just a tale of doom, but a call to prepare ourselves mentally, spiritually, and communally for a world that may soon be unrecognizable, yet filled with the potential for renewal. Number 2. August 15th, 2025. The critical date. August 15th, 2025 mark that date, because according to a prophecy that's left experts and truth seekers around the world stunned, it represents a critical turning point for all of humanity. On this day, we face a moment of decision, unlike any before a moment, that may shape the future of life on Earth in ways we can hardly comprehend. The seer who predicted the fall of the Twin Towers decades before it happened, the one whose writings described natural disasters with uncanny precision, also warned that this particular date in 2025 would present a global tipping point. But what does that actually mean for us, not just as a society, but as individuals trying to make sense of an increasingly unpredictable world? She described two potential outcomes, each vastly different from the other. And what's most striking is that the power to determine which one we head toward doesn't lie in the hands of politicians, scientists, or world leaders. It lies in your hands, in mine, in all of ours. The first path she called the Great Ascension. It's a vision of spiritual evolution, of rising above fear, division, and selfishness to embrace unity, truth, and compassion. This path is about waking up not just in a mystical or religious sense, but in our day-to-day choices. Are we helping or harming? Are we creating peace or feeding conflict? Are we living with purpose or just chasing survival? The Great Ascension means choosing to live with integrity, reconnecting with nature, caring for one another, and seeing beyond the surface of things. It is not about becoming perfect, it's about becoming conscious. The second path, however, is much darker. She called it final darkness. It paints a picture of a world lost in its own inventions, where technology advances faster than our morality, where truth becomes distorted, and where values erode to the point of collapse. It warns of a society that puts convenience above conscience, efficiency above empathy, and control above connection. According to her, this road leads to environmental breakdowns, social unrest, widespread mental suffering, and possibly even extinction, not through some sudden event, but through a slow erosion of what makes us human. Now here's the question: which direction are we heading in right now? If you take a moment to reflect on the world today, the increasing anxiety, the political polarization, the environmental warnings, and our growing dependence on machine-esdo, you sense the crossroads approaching. And more importantly, how do we begin to choose differently, to steer toward light instead of shadow? The prophet's message is clear. The decision won't be made for us. It won't come from a summit or a scientific breakthrough. It will come from the quiet but powerful choices that each of us makes every single day. So ask yourself, what are you choosing? Are your actions adding to the fear and noise, or helping others rise? Are you treating the earth like something sacred or disposable? Are you seeking truth or just comfort? As we approach August 15th, 2025, we're not just being warned, we're being given a chance. A chance to rewrite the story, to step into a future that reflects the best of who we are instead of the worst of what we fear. The real message behind this terrifying prophecy isn't just doom, it's awakening. It's about realizing that we're not powerless passengers, we are the authors of tomorrow. And the lesson is simple, yet powerful. Each of us matters more than we think. Our energy, our choices, our courage to live with heart and honesty can shift the world. The time to choose isn't someday, it's now. Number 3. The core of the prophecy, revelation and revolution. At the heart of the prophecy lies a revelation so powerful it threatens to upend the very foundation of modern civilization. According to the mystic's manuscript, a world-altering discovery will be unearthed beneath the ancient ice of Antarctica, revelation that serves as a catalyst for a chain of global events. This discovery is not merely scientific. It challenges humanity's understanding of its origins, purpose, and future. The prophecy warns of a monumental convergence of three technological frontiers: quantum computing, artificial intelligence, and genetic engineering. As these fields accelerate and intertwine, they will give rise to an evolutionary leap unlike anything humanity has ever witnessed. This is not simply progress, it is a transformation that may blur or even erase the line between human and machine, biology and code, soul and system. Most alarming is the foretold emergence of a non-human intelligentsia being not born of nature, but of man's own design. This entity, shaped by our most advanced technologies and unrestrained ambition, will possess capabilities beyond our current comprehension. The mystic cautions that this creation, though born from human ingenuity, will not be bound by human values. It may become a mirror to our deepest flaws, a harbinger of our downfall. In essence, the prophecy describes a moment in which humanity becomes its own god, and in doing so, risks creating something it can no longer control. The warning is clear. We are approaching a threshold. What lies beyond it is not guaranteed salvation, but a test of whether we are wise enough to wield the power we've unlocked, or whether it will be the force that undoes us. If you've made it this far, you're already tuned in to the deeper warnings shaping our future. Comment below with 2025 insight to show you're ready to face what's coming with open eyes. Don't click away just yet. There's more to uncover that could shift how you see the months ahead. Stay until the end to hear the full warning and what it could mean for all of us. Number 4. The New War. No weapons, no gunfire. The mystic's prophecy speaks of a war unlike any humanity has ever faced, a conflict not waged with armies or bombs, but with information, technology, and the human mind itself. This silent confrontation, described as a shadow war, is already underway. It's a battle for truth, perception, and control, unfolding across digital landscapes, financial systems, and ideological battlegrounds invisible to the naked eye. This is not science fiction. It's a new kind of warfare where influence replaces bullets and algorithms shape belief. Governments, corporations, and unseen actors vie for dominance, not by conquering land, but by steering thought and manipulating reality. The most dangerous weapons are no longer physical, they are psychological and systemic. According to the prophecy, this war reaches a critical tipping point in late 2025, culminating in what the mystic calls the Great Revelation, moment when long-hidden truths will be exposed on a global scale. Secrets buried for generations will surface, shaking the foundations of institutions, faiths, and power structures. It will be a reckoning not just of facts, but of values. Strikingly, the mystic's warnings align with cryptic verses from Nostradamus, obscure biblical references, and even ancient Sumerian texts. Across cultures and millennia, echoes of this invisible conflict have been preserved, as if humanity has always sensed that such a moment would one day arrive. This coming revelation is not only inevitable, it is necessary, but as with any great unveiling, it will not come without cost. The question is not whether the truth will emerge, but whether we will be ready to face it. Number 5. Light in the darkness, a chance for redemption. Amid the chaos and uncertainty foretold in the prophecy, there is a quiet, powerful undercurrent of hope. The mystic speaks of a collective awakening, a subtle yet growing shift in human consciousness, already taking root across the world. While many remain distracted or unaware, a rising number of individuals are beginning to see through the illusions, question the narratives, and reconnect with something deeper. These awakened souls are not defined by title, status, or education. They are ordinary people teachers, workers, artists, healers who feel a quiet urgency stirring within them. According to the prophecy, it is these individuals, not governments or institutions, who will play a vital role in guiding humanity through the coming storm. The mystic emphasizes that the path forward is not only technological, it is also spiritual, emotional, and deeply human. In a world increasingly driven by algorithms and artificial connections, the prophecy calls on us to revive authentic human bonds and preserve the wisdom of the ancient truths that have endured through time, stored in forgotten texts, sacred traditions, and the human heart itself. This is not about returning to the past, but about carrying forward what is timeless. The values of compassion, integrity, courage, and unity must be our compass as we navigate the uncertain road ahead. In a world where truth is increasingly hard to find, those who remain clear-minded and heart-centered will be beacons for others. The prophecy makes one thing clear: salvation will not arrive from above, it must rise from within. Each of us carries a piece of the light needed to dispel the growing darkness. And though the hour may be late, the window for redemption remains open for those willing to see and to act. Number 6. A message for the future. You did not arrive here by accident. According to the mystic's final words, those who encounter this message were meant to. You were chosen not in some mystical sense of superiority, but because something within you is ready to hear it, to understand it, and perhaps to act on it. The window for preparation is not wide, and it is beginning to close. The signs are already unfolding. The noise of the world may drown them out, but for those who are listening, the call is unmistakable. Now is the time for awareness to become action, for quiet understanding to turn into conscious choice. The events prophesied for 2025 are not just predictions to marvel at. They are a final warning, a chance for humanity to course correct before it crosses a line that cannot be undone. What comes next is not inevitable. It depends on what we do now, in these crucial final moments. You are not powerless. On the contrary, the prophecy insists that ordinary people will shape the extraordinary turning point ahead. The truth is not only coming, it's already here, waiting to be recognized, spoken, and lived. So consider this your invitation, not to fear, but to prepare, not to escape, but to engage. The choice is in your hands, because the future is not something we await, it's something we create. You've just heard part of a prophecy that could reshape everything we expect from 2025. If you're ready to see beyond the surface and understand the deeper signs, comment below with, "I choose awareness over fear. I'm ready to face the truth of 2025." There's still more in this video that could change how you prepare for the future. Stay with us. What's coming next may open your eyes even wider. A time of truth. How we prepare for what's ahead. If the prophecy is true, if the world is indeed approaching a turning point from which there may be no return, then the real question isn't what will happen, but what should we do now? Here on the Journey of Wisdom, we don't share warnings to spread fear. We believe that every crisis is also an invitation to transform. And within this terrifying prophecy, there is also a deeper opportunity, an invitation to wake up, both individually and collectively. Number 1. Turn inward. Let's begin with the one place we so often overlook in times of uncertainty: ourselves. In a world constantly spinning with noise, pressure, and distractions, emails, deadlines, endless scrolling, and the pressure to always do more, It's easy to lose touch with our inner voice, the quiet compass that can guide us through confusion. And so, the first and most important step in preparing for what's ahead, whatever that may be, is to turn inward. You might ask, but how do I even do that? What does that mean? It means starting each day, not in reaction to the world, but in gentle connection with yourself. Before reaching for your phone, before turning on the news or diving into tasks, take a moment, just one deep, conscious breath. Feel it. Let yourself settle. Maybe sit quietly for 2 minutes. Maybe close your eyes and ask yourself, how am I really feeling today? These small moments aren't wasted time, they're sacred. As the Buddha once said, peace comes from within. Do not seek it without. You're not running away from reality when you sit in stillness. You're preparing yourself to face it with clarity, resilience, and compassion. Think of your inner world like the surface of a lake. When it's stormy and disturbed, you can't see anything clearly. But when it's calm, even if just for a moment, the truth beneath becomes visible. And right now, more than ever, we need to see clearly, not just what's happening around us, but what's happening within us. Because how can we prepare for what's coming environmentally, socially, spiritually, if we're not even present with ourselves? So I ask you, when was the last time you truly paused, not just to rest, but to listen, not to someone else, to you? There's a reason many ancient teachings from Buddhism to Stoicism place stillness at the center of wisdom. It's not just spiritual talk, it's practical truth. When you practice even a little mindfulness each day, something changes, your reactivity lessens, your perspective broadens. You don't get pulled into every conflict or piece of bad news because you're anchored in something deeper. The Dalai Lama once said, "Calm mind brings inner strength and self-confidence, so that's very important for good health." And I'd add it's also essential for good decision-making. This is not about becoming a monk or living in a cave. It's about reclaiming your mind in a world that profits from your distraction. It's about choosing presence over panic, awareness over autopilot. And when you begin to do that, even in small ways, you begin to see more clearly what your role is in this changing world. You become more grounded, more discerning, more able to respond instead of react. Because the truth is, we can't change the future if we don't first understand the present, and we can't understand the present if we're never truly here. So, as you listen to this right now, I invite you to ask yourself a simple question. What would happen if I gave myself just 5 minutes of real silence today? No music, no scrolling, no multitasking. Just you, your breath, and the truth waiting quietly inside you. Would you hear something you've been missing? Would you reconnect with a part of yourself that's been ignored or numbed? The answers won't come all at once, but I promise you this, they will come. And the more you return to yourself, the more prepared you will be, not just to survive what's ahead, but to rise with grace and courage through it. Because the real preparation doesn't start with the world, it starts with you. Number 2, choose truth over convenience. Let's be honest, it's never been easier to get lost. In today's world, truth is no longer something that quietly reveals itself. It's something we have to actively seek. With the rise of social media, algorithm-driven content, and information moving at the speed of light, we're constantly swimming in a sea of half-truths, filtered stories, clickbait headlines, and polished illusions. Much of what we see, hear, and share is designed not to inform us, but to comfort us, to keep us distracted, entertained, or emotionally reactive. It feels easier to scroll past difficult truths, to follow what agrees with us, and to turn away when something challenges our beliefs. But here's the thing. The prophecy reminds us the truth will surface. And when it does, the real question is not whether we will see it, but whether we will be ready to face it. That requires courage and a willingness to sit with discomfort, It means asking questions that may not have easy answers. It means looking at the systems we live in, the beliefs we've grown up with, and even our own behaviors, and asking, is this real? Is this right? Is this helping or harming? And more importantly, what have I been accepting simply because it's easier than questioning it? We're not just being asked to think critically, we're being called to feel honestly, to examine our own role in the stories we've bought into. It's easy to point fingers at corrupt leaders, broken systems, or manipulative media, but what about our own willingness to stay quiet when something felt wrong? What about the times we clicked share without checking the facts, or stayed silent because speaking up might cause friction? Choosing truth over convenience isn't just about politics or media, it's deeply personal. It happens every time you choose to be honest with yourself, every time you admit you were wrong, every time you resist the urge to pretend everything's okay when it's not. As the Buddha taught, 3 things cannot be long hidden: the sun, the moon, and the truth. Sooner or later, the truth finds its way to the surface. But when it does, will we have the inner strength to recognize it not just in the world, but in ourselves? Think about your own life for a moment. What truths have you been avoiding because they're uncomfortable? Are there situations you've stayed in because leaving feels hard, even though deep down you know they're not right for you? Are you consuming information that challenges your growth, or just content that reinforces what you already believe? These are not easy questions, but they are necessary ones. Because preparing for what's ahead doesn't just mean being informed, it means being real. It means being willing to sit in uncertainty without reaching for the nearest distraction. It means honoring your intuition when something feels off. And it means respecting yourself enough to face what is true, even when it hurts. So here's what I want to leave you with today. Truth doesn't always feel good, but it sets you free. Convenience can keep you safe for a while, but it cannot build the life or the world that your soul came here to help shape. Choosing truth over convenience isn't a one-time act, it's a daily practice. It's choosing honesty when lying would be easier. It's asking questions when silence would be more comfortable. And it's trusting that no matter how hard the truth may be, you are strong enough to face it and grow from it. So ask yourself right now, what truth is waiting for me to see it? And am I willing to face it fully, bravely, and with compassion? Because that's the beginning of real preparation. Not just for what's coming, but for who you're becoming. Number 3, practice kindness in small, consistent ways. Let's talk about something so simple, so ordinary, that it often gets overlooked: kindness. Not the kind you post about or wait for the perfect moment to offer, but the quiet, consistent, everyday kind. You might be thinking, what difference can a small act of kindness really make in a world filled with conflict, division, and so much noise? But here's the truth. You don't need to be a saint or a leader to help shift the world. You don't need a platform, a title, or even a plan. What you need is heart, presence, and the willingness to show up with compassion even in the smallest moments. A kind word when someone least expects it. Holding the door when your day is rushed. Choosing patience over irritation when someone cuts in line or speaks out of turn. These might seem like nothing, but they are everything, especially now. Because in times of chaos, kindness becomes a quiet act of rebellion, a gentle resistance against a world that often rewards speed over presence, profit over people, and reaction over understanding. It's in those small choices, repeated day after day, that we shape not only our character, but the energy we bring into our homes, our communities, and the world. Think about Ithao. Many times has someone's small gesture changed your entire day. Maybe it was a stranger's smile, a friend who listened without judgment, or someone who saw you when you felt invisible. Those moments stay with us. Why? Because they speak to something timeless in us, something deeply human. The Buddha once said, "Thousands of candles can be lit from a single candle, and the life of the candle will not be shortened." Your kindness doesn't run out by giving it away, it expands. And in a time where fear and division often dominate the narrative, being kind is not weakness, it's wisdom in action. But I know it's not always easy, especially when you feel tired, hurt, or overwhelmed. So here's a question worth asking. What does it look like to be kind, even when life doesn't feel kind to you? Can you offer gentleness when you're under pressure? Can you speak with care, even when you're frustrated? These are powerful questions because the answer doesn't just shape your mood, it shapes your legacy. And here's the beauty of it. Kindness doesn't require you to fix the whole world. You're not expected to solve every crisis or carry every burden. All you need to do is take the next kind step, wherever you are. Offer your presence. Speak with intention. Slow down enough to truly see the person in front of you, not as a problem, but as a human being, just like you, doing their best. What would happen if more of us lived this way? If kindness became our baseline, not just our response when it's convenient? Wouldn't the world shift bit by bit, day by day? So as we prepare for whatever lies ahead, let's remember this simple truth. Acts of kindness, no matter how small, create ripples we'll never fully see, but they matter deeply. They soften the edges of a hard world. They remind people that goodness still exists. And they remind you of your power not to dominate, but to uplift. The time to lead with kindness isn't later, it's now. Because in the face of uncertainty, compassion is our most reliable compass. And maybe the most radical thing you can do today is simply to be kind. If this message touched something in your heart, share a little light in the comments. Just write, "Kindness is my quiet strength." Let's fill this space with gentle power. Number 4, reconnect with nature. Throughout time, spiritual teachers, scientists, and now even ancient prophecies have warned us of one thing: the growing imbalance between humanity and the earth. The prophecy we speak of today doesn't just warn of dramatic events, it reminds us that part of our disconnection and crisis stems from forgetting our place in the natural world. In modern life, where screens have replaced sunsets and concrete has buried the soil beneath our feet, we've slowly become detached from what once nourished not just our bodies but our spirits. So when we talk about preparing for what's ahead, it isn't just about technology, governments, or economics, it's also about coming back into harmony with the planet that sustains us. And this reconnection doesn't require grand actions. It begins with the simple, powerful practice of noticing. Take a walk, not with headphones in, but in silence. Listen to the leaves, feel the temperature of the air, watch how the light changes through the trees. These moments are not just peaceful, they're healing. The Buddha taught, if we destroy nature, we destroy ourselves. In that spirit, walking mindfully through nature is not escapism, it is remembering who you are. Many of us are overwhelmed by digital noise and modern stress, yet we forget that a large part of our anxiety may stem from being removed from our original rhythm, the natural pulse of the earth itself. When was the last time you touched soil with your hands, planted something, or watched the moon rise without rushing back indoors? These aren't just feel-good activities, they are forms of medicine. Scientific research now confirms what ancient wisdom has always known. Time in nature reduces stress, balances the nervous system, and even improves our memory and creativity. But beyond health benefits, it's about relationship, recognizing that the earth is not a backdrop to our lives, but the very ground of our being. When we unplug and take a quiet evening to look at the stars, we are reminded of our place in something vast, mysterious, and sacred. This is where humility is born and where healing begins. The Japanese practice of Shinrin-yoku, or forest bathing, teaches that by simply being in the presence of trees, without distraction, our mind and body start to align with the calm of the natural world. It's not about doing more, it's about being present, fully and sincerely. In today's world, it might feel like you don't have time for this, but here's the truth. We cannot afford to stay disconnected. Rebuilding our relationship with nature is not a luxury, it's a responsibility and a lifeline. Start with 5 minutes. Water a plant with care. Watch a bird in flight. Walk barefoot on grass. These moments are how we rebuild not just the earth, but ourselves. As Chief Seattle once said, "Man did not weave the web of life. He is merely a strand in it. Whatever he does to the web, he does to himself." So ask yourself, what kind of strand are you being in that web? Are you adding to the tension or helping restore balance? The world ahead will challenge us, yes. But if we return to the wisdom of the earth through quiet observation, small acts of care, and deeper presence, we may find not only peace, but the clarity and strength to move forward with grace. And in that stillness, nature may just reveal the answers we've been too busy to hear. Number 5. Learn, share, and awaken together. In times of uncertainty, it's easy to feel like you're walking this path alone, but you're not. All around the world, people just like you are sensing a shift, something deep stirring beneath the surface of daily life. They're beginning to question the way we've been living, the values we've upheld, and the direction we're heading. Maybe you've felt it too, that quiet urgency, that whisper inside asking, is there more to life than this constant rush, this disconnection, this silent exhaustion? If so, then know this: you're not alone, and you were never meant to do this alone. There's a quiet movement happening, not in the headlines but in the hearts of people who are waking up, people seeking meaning, healing, and truth. I once met a woman in her 60s at a small retreat in the mountains. She had spent most of her adult life working in finance, living a life that looked successful from the outside. But after retiring, she said she started having vivid dreams, dreams of nature, of ancient places, of people gathering around fires. She didn't fully understand them, but they led her to begin studying meditation and Buddhist texts, and eventually to that retreat, where for the first time in decades, she felt completely seen. She told me, "I thought I was just aging, but now I realize I was just starting to awaken." That moment stayed with me because it showed something we often forget. Awakening is not a solo journey. It's something that happens in connection through shared stories, through presence, through learning together. So, I ask you, who are you surrounding yourself with? Who are the people you speak openly with about what really matters? Because we don't grow in isolation. We grow in community, in spaces where we feel safe enough to be real. Whether it's a book club reading ancient wisdom, an online circle for mindfulness practice, a local meditation group, or simply a few friends who agree to meet weekly for honest conversation, it all matters. These are the circles where transformation begins. The Buddhist teacher Thich Nhat Hanh once said, "The next Buddha may not take the form of an individual. The next Buddha may take the form of a community." In a world where division and loneliness have become the norm, choosing to come together with others on the path is itself a radical act. And it's not about being perfect or having all the answers, it's about being willing to ask the deeper questions and to hold space for others as they do the same. If you've ever felt afraid to speak your truth or wondered if anyone else feels what you feel, trust that others are out there, waiting for someone to go first. Maybe that someone is you. Maybe your voice is the key that unlocks courage in someone else. So here's the lesson. Awakening is not meant to be a lonely road. When we learn, share, and reflect together, we create something larger than ourselves, a field of trust, wisdom, and healing that helps lift us all. As we prepare for whatever comes next, Let's not rely only on systems or leaders to guide us. Let's remember the power of circles, of shared practice, of honest conversation, because the Great Ascension, as the prophecy calls it, isn't about escaping the world. It's about rising into it together with open hearts, clear minds, and the strength that only community can provide. So ask yourself, who are you walking with? And how can you begin to build or join a space where awakening is not just possible but inevitable? As we've seen, the prophecy for 2025 is not just a warning, it's a mirror, a call to look within, to awaken, and to remember that we each have a role to play in what comes next. The future is not fixed. It is being shaped right now by the choices we make, the truths we face, and the way we show up for one another. If this message resonated with you, help us spread it by liking this video, sharing it with those you care about, and subscribing to The Journey of Wisdom. Don't forget to turn on the notification bell so you won't miss our upcoming episodes where we dive deeper into ancient truths, modern challenges, and the path forward. Together, let's walk this journey on step, one choice, one moment of awakening at a time. Thank you for being here. Until next time, stay grounded, stay awake, and stay kind.